Hello and welcome to today's lecture. I want to start by just clarifying the offer that we're extending for the upcoming virtual chair program. The Sacred Sounds pendants are very important to Master Teacher Todt for us to get out to everyone. He wants them to be spread all around the world to help increase the initial rotations of creation on Earth. And this is going to benefit everyone, not just those people who have the Sacred Sounds pendants. Because of this, we decided to make a slight change in the discount offer that we have traditionally given for the virtual chair program. Now, the virtual chair program is a Chair of Genesis program where your photograph attends the program instead of you in person. I give your photograph a treatment, then your photograph is placed inside the flying seed, and then your photograph is placed in the Chair of Genesis. And we had approved this entire treatment plan with Lantos to make sure that it would be able to provide you with a very good benefit, and he said yes, it would. So during last year and this year, during these times when we don't have the ability to get a bunch of people together in a hotel conference room to do the treatments and then experience the Chair of Genesis, this is the way we're offering it. Now, this particular method offers several benefits. Not only do you get the benefit of the Chair of Genesis right now during a time when we cannot do a chair program in person, but also this is a very effective and easy way for people to be able to get the benefit of the Chair of Genesis when normally they would be unable to attend an in-person Chair of Genesis course. This could be someone who's elderly and not easily able to travel, someone who has other diseases or difficulties with mobility where travel would be a challenge. It's also a good opportunity for children and even infants since they would otherwise not be able to attend the Chair of Genesis program. So for many people, the virtual chair program is actually the preferable way to experience the Chair of Genesis. We, throughout last year, the 2 times that we did the Chair of Genesis program virtually, we offered a specific discount. The cost of the program was $300, but we then extended to you a $200 credit for any in-person future Chair of Genesis program, which meant that the photo program, the virtual chair program, was really only $100. Now that we have these Sacred Sounds pendants and that Master Teacher Todt has made it clear how important it is to get these out to everyone, we have decided to change that discount. We still have the $200 discount if you're planning on attending a future in-person Chair of Genesis program, but we're also giving you the option, instead of the $200 future discount for a chair program, we're giving you the offer of getting 2 Sacred Sounds pendants for free. Since those are $95 a piece, it comes to close to a $200 discount. It's $190 for the discount to get 2 Sacred Sounds pendants for free. This is in lieu of the $200 discount off of a future in-person Chair of Genesis program. So you get to choose. You get to choose which discount offer that you want, but really, Master Teacher Todt wants everyone to get these Sacred Sounds pendants out to as many people as possible. And that means making sure that you have a set of them. But also it means if you know someone who needs, for example, the curse pendant or the health pendant or the love pendant, that you can give this to them as a gift. They don't need to receive their Sacred Sounds to be able to benefit from a Sacred Sounds pendant. Of course, if they receive their Sacred Sounds, it makes the Sacred Sounds pendant significantly more effective. But for many of you, when you're thinking of someone in your life who could really use one of these pendants, especially, for example, the curse pendant, those people may not be entirely receptive yet to receiving their Sacred Sounds for that pendant, for the curse seed, for example. That's fine. You can give them the pendant, the Sacred Sounds pendant, and after a month or 2, when they become significantly more receptive, that's when they'll be interested in receiving their sacred sounds and in getting more of the pendants. But the pendants do make very good gifts, especially for those people who are close to you, important to you in your life, where you know that they need some of the benefits from these pendants. So that's why we're including this offer for the upcoming Virtual Chair of Genesis program. Remember, the Virtual Chair of Genesis program has a limit on the number of people we can accommodate during the course of a day. So that means that if you're interested in it, give us a call. Call us this week, call us early next week, let us know that you're interested so that we can reserve a space for you. And then you'll simply email a photograph over to us, unless we already have one of you from one of the last chair programs, and then I'll be able to take those with me to the Western Gate to do the treatments, place them in the Flying Seed, and then place them in the Chair of Genesis. And of course, for those 2 free Sacred Sounds pendants, you get to choose which ones. So if there are both gifts and you want both of them to be curse pendants, that's fine. It doesn't have to be just one of each kind. You get to choose. Now, I also want to go over the Sacred Sounds pendant treatment that we've talked about the last couple of times, because we've received several questions on this. Included as an attachment on this email is the instruction guide and the step-by-step instructions for the Sacred Sounds pendant treatment. Let me start by just refreshing your memory on what Lantos said about this treatment. He said, "In this way, through this simple session, the layers of physical form receive purification and enlivenment. Obstacles are removed. Toxins are released. The great wave is enlivened. This process brings forth waves of light, waves of purity, waves of energy, responsible for abundance on the outer material layers of expression." Yes, very good. It is very good. So that's what he said, and it sounds like a pretty good treatment, doesn't it? So it's important that we make sure that you do this correctly. For example, the use of the flame and the wand. In all of the treatments that we've done over the last 22 years that I've taught you about, the flame, the wand can be used in a circular motion or a side-to-side motion, back and forth. Almost any motion that you want is going to suffice. Not so in this treatment. In this treatment, the movement of the flame of Genesis and the wand of Genesis is quite specific. It has to be in a circling motion. So not side to side, not back and forth. A circling motion is what you use when you use the flame and the wand. Since we have had many questions come in, that's why I want to just briefly go through these instructions with you again. The treatment is really quite simple, but it does require 2 people, because you can't use the tools on yourself when you are holding the pendant in one hand and the supercell in the other hand. That's the only catch. You do have to have a second person who can use the flame and the wand on you. But let's go through the steps of the treatment. The first step is to set the intent. Using the translator or using the song, you set the intent. That's pretty simple. We all know how to do it, and it can be any intent that you want. Secondly, you hold the supercells in your hands. The super water cell will always go in your left hand. The superstar cell will always go in your right hand. So you hold both of them in your hands for 2 minutes, and then we start with the pendants. Now, the order of the pendants, you always start with the gold pendant and then move on to the silver reflective pendant of that gold pendant. So inception, then reflection. Education, then success. Love, then abundance. Health, then curse. Always in pairs, always using the gold one first, the silver one second. That's the order for the pendants. The gold ones always go in your right hand. The silver ones always go in your left hand. And if you simply remember that you don't hold a pendant with a supercell in the same hand for this treatment, then it tells you which supercell goes in the other hand. So when you're holding a gold pendant in the right hand, then in your left hand, you're holding the super water cell. When you're holding a silver pendant in the left hand, then in the right hand you're holding a superstar cell. It's pretty simple to remember when you do it that way. Then, the only other thing you have to remember is when you're holding a gold pendant in your right hand, the person needs to use the flame of Genesis over your body. Remember, a circular motion all over your body. When you're holding a silver reflective pendant in your left hand, then the person will use the wand of Genesis in a circling motion over your body. Those are the only guidelines for the treatment that you have to be able to remember, and after you've done it a couple of times, it's very easy to remember it. And the instructions go through step by step with all of the pendants. Now, when you finish up holding the superstar cell in your right hand and the super water cell in your left hand for a couple of minutes, and then you're done with the treatment. The treatment will take you about half an hour if you take 3 minutes per pendant. But you don't have to do 3 minutes. You could do 1 minute if you're in a hurry. You could do 5 minutes, even 10 minutes if you wanted a much longer treatment. 10 minutes, of course, would be an hour and a half long treatment. So it is up to you how you want to do this. And again, it's an important treatment, not only because Lantos's description of it sounds really good, but also when you consider that Lantos always gives us instructions from the first 10 days of January, where the Ascended Masters have their conference, and they chart the course for the year for us. And then Lantos gives us instructions for what we're supposed to do throughout the year. So that first message after January 10th is usually a fairly important message because it tells us the course for the whole year. And this one, he gave us this intent, this treatment. So it's important because this is obviously the thing that we're all supposed to be doing. Okay, so make sure that you can do this. Make sure that you have the pendants to be able to do this, that you have someone who's able to help doing the flame and the wand. And for Sunday, I should be able to have the exact instructions for how to do it at a distance. But also remember the upcoming virtual chair program. With the 2 free pendants, that means that the program only costs $110 because it's a $300 program, but you get 2 free pendants. And those make very good gifts. And the chair program makes a very good gift for someone in your life who cannot or will not go to the Chair of Genesis on their own when we do hold the in-person chair programs. It also makes a very good gift for you to start out the year. Okay, everyone. Thanks for joining me. I'll talk to you again on Sunday.